The Seattle Mariners get an outstanding dominant performance from Luis Castillo. They win a series in Kauffman Stadium, which has been a house of horrors for them in the past. And now they get ready to play the biggest regular season series in maybe 20 years for this franchise, as they'll take on the Houston Astros starting tomorrow in what may essentially be a series to determine who wins the American League West. What is up? What is going on, everybody? Welcome back and welcome into the Seattle Mariners post-game recap. 2-0. The Mariners defeat the Royals today. As always, before I go any further, if you can like the video, it gets it out to more people. Subscribe if you're new or lurking on the way to 5,100 subs now. And don't forget to comment your thoughts on the team and the game down below. Before we dive into all the playoff stuff and start breaking that down a little bit more, real nice bounce back win today for the Seattle Mariners. It would be hard to say we weren't probably a little nervous. We've just seen it with this team, right? They get hot, but then they lose one game and they just can't pull themselves out of it a little bit. And that was a huge win for them. Maybe not so much, playoff odds wise, but I mean, it definitely helps, but aesthetically too, just to rebound after a tough one yesterday. And it's easier to kind of flush away yesterday as just being hey, baseball's tough sometimes and you're not going to win them all. Seeing them bounce back today and get this W today, win the series, and they've won 11 out of 12 against a pesky Kansas City team that has given this team so many fits over the years in that stadium. What a dominant performance from Luis Castillo, who, I mean, just earlier this month after a rough outing in Tampa, we were kind of talking, what do you do? Because he's just been so brutal his last 3 or 4 starts. And he bounces back, pitches extremely well against the Braves, has a big home start against the Angels. I think there was another one in there. Did he pitch against the Cardinals? I don't think so. And then again here in Kansas City when they absolutely needed it against a pesky Royals lineup. Castillo to go 6 shutout innings. Just a phenomenal performance from the Mariners. Castillo really getting it done this year. Like I've said, clearly not the pitcher he was in 2022. No doubt about that. But he has really stepped up and had some big starts. He was huge for this team when Kirby and Logan Gilbert were both out and they didn't have really that ace on the staff. Castillo stepped up and did it. Had some rough starts in the middle there. But now that the team is pushing towards the playoffs here and hopefully division title, they're getting some outstanding performances from Castillo. Bullpen was great again today. Bizzardo, quick, easy 7th inning, only threw 9 pitches. He'll be good tomorrow. Gabe Speier does pitch in all 3 in this series. Has a pretty clean 8th inning, does throw 10 pitches. There's a chance Speier, having pitched 3 in a row, is down tomorrow. But without Yordan Alvarez, the Astros just don't have a lot of lefties. In fact, I think Caratini's a switch hitter, and that might be it unless Jesus Sanchez is there now too. But not a series where, obviously want Gabe Speier to be available. He's a good pitcher and he can get lefties and righties out. But, if he's down for one game, you're probably okay. And then Munoz finishes it up there in the 9th inning, gives up the double to Pasquantino and hits Perez. Probably not the worst hit by pitch ever. Perez is so scary in that spot, but strikes out Adam Frazier, who was a bit of a pest this series. Munoz throws 17 pitches, but he hadn't pitched since Saturday. So Munoz will be good to go in Houston for sure. I was a little worried about that, to be honest, because Houston with the day off today, the last thing you wanted was a game where the Mariners didn't win, used all their leverage arms, all of them threw 25, 30 pitches, and you kind of go limping into Houston. They didn't get that today thanks to Castillo going deep and Bizzardo and Munoz, and even Speier having pretty easy innings. It's just Speyer's pitched 3 days in a row. Offensively, Mariners struggled against Kolek for sure. Listen, ground ball pitcher that doesn't give up a lot of hard contact. Those are guys that beat this Mariners team. Mariners team relies on a lot of fly balls, home runs. Not like that they're slow, but they're just not a very pesky Mariners are not a pesky put the ball in play team like a Kansas City. The Mariners are, we're going to crush you and hit the ball over the fence type team. So this is the exact type of pitcher that the Mariners struggle against, but they found a way, right? They got a great start from their starting pitcher. Naylor gets the single. Polanco puts one into the gap, gives them the run. And what a great challenge by Dan and the video, I think it was their video guy, Andy Bissell, is that his name? To challenge Michael Massey being on the grass at second base in 8th inning. That's the first time I've ever seen a shift challenge. So kudos to the Mariners coaching staff for challenging that in the 8th inning. And it got them another run and a huge run on the J.P. Crawford 2-out RBI double there in the 8th after Dom reaches, Victor runs for him, and then they score. So that was a great challenge of the year by this coaching staff. And that extends to everybody from Dan to the video coordinators to everybody. That is a tremendous challenge. And I know we've been hard on this coaching staff sometimes with Dan. And I know that's not just Dan, but they deserve a ton of credit for that. That was a great, smart challenge, and they got a huge insurance run out of it. And then, anytime the pitching staff pitches a shutout, you've done something right. We'll dive into the box score in a minute. Let's talk about the playoff picture here. Mariners' playoff magic number down to 7 with the win. Cleveland will not stop winning, but Boston is now also losing. So Boston's now between you and Cleveland. So you've got a little bit of that buffer. And with how hot Cleveland's been, they could catch Detroit. They're only 2.5 games behind the Tigers now in the Central. The Mariners are now only a game back of a bye, technically, here. So this is getting crazy with this playoff picture here. And then Boston, I think, plays Detroit this weekend. Cleveland's in Minnesota. It is getting all kinds of crazy up in here with this playoff scenario. It's why I'm glad the Mariners won, because if you keep winning, you don't have to worry about it a ton. But there's a lot going on in the wild card race. But the Mariners' magic number to clinch a playoff spot is 7. That's the combined number of wins. And right now, it's Cleveland losses because Cleveland's the first team out. So, for instance, if Cleveland loses tomorrow and Mariners win, it's 5. The AL West is now tied. Technically, again, the Mariners are in first because they have that second tiebreaker. That tiebreaker is not going to matter, though, in 3 days. Whoever wins this series, in my opinion, probably wins the American League West. It's going to be very simple. They will certainly have a massive leg up. If the Mariners take 2 out of 3 against Houston, they'll be 1 game up. They'll have the tiebreaker, and they'll be getting ready to host the Rockies for 3 games. You would absolutely have to love that position the Mariners would be in. If Houston wins the series, they're going to be in kind of the same boat. Now, they have to go on the road to the A's and the Angels. A little trickier than maybe the Rockies at home. I don't think would necessarily clinch it for them, but it's hard not to say. It's hard not to say the winner of the series this weekend wins the West. If any one of these teams sweep, it's over. If the Mariners sweep Houston, Mariners win the AL West. If Houston sweeps the Mariners, Houston's winning the American League West. Sweep ends it. Either way. Series win, there's a little wiggle room, but I would venture to say the winner of this series probably has like an 80-85% chance to win the division. Does not get any bigger than this. And it's our best against their best. This is what baseball is all about. Even if you're like, and I know we're stressed out about it, try to embrace the stress. Enjoy it. It's going to be fun. Brian Wu against Hunter Brown. Does it get any better than that? I don't think it does. Framber Valdez, always tough, right? We know he's got a little bit of some temper stuff, but keeps the ball on the ground. He's a competitor against George Kirby. Can George step up after a great outing last time out? And then Sunday Night Baseball in front of the world could be for the American League West. Jason Alexander, George Costanza against Logan Gilbert. So here we go. We've got our best going. I mean, if you want to argue Kirby, Castillo, whatever, fine. The point of what I'm saying here isn't to create an argument. But it's our best against their best. No Yordan Alvarez is going to help, but you're not going to get the Astros laying down. So it is going to be a wild, wild series. Should be fun. And hopefully the Mariners can pull it out, right? I believe they can. I think the Mariners are the better baseball team. We'll find out. It's certainly not again, as I always say, it's not meant as a trash talking point. I believe in my team, and I think they're going to win the series this weekend. But it will not be easy, and it should be a super, super competitive series. We'll talk a little bit more about it when we finish up this video. But that's kind of where everything stands right now. To get in, your magic number 7, and then this weekend probably determines the American League West. I will say certainly for wild card purposes as well. I mean, obviously you don't want to get swept in general because that would just be awful. But you at least want to find a way to get 1 here because you do want that magic number going down a little bit, even if it's just for the playoffs, right? I always say first thing is getting it. No matter what, even if the Mariners don't win this series, doesn't mean we're giving up on the season. First things first is getting in the dance, and then you go from there. So let's go ahead and get into the box score for today's game. We'll talk a little bit more about the series of the year that's coming up. Castillo just phenomenal. Gets his 10th win of the year, 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, no walks. Huge, 3 strikeouts. Strikeouts are a little low, but it's because the Royals just put the ball in play, right? They're just a team that's they're going to make contact and try to reach base, that way. They're not super patient. Castillo, 84 pitches. Maybe could have left him out there for the 7th, but I'm not going to complain about going to Bizardo, who throws a quick shutout inning, no hits, no walks, no runs, and a strikeout. Gabe Spire was great in the 8th. The only hit was I think it was Caglione. He hit a little chopper back to Spire, gives up a hit and a strikeout. Munoz with a dominant ninth inning for his 36th save, does give up a hit and a hit by pitch, but strikes out the side there in the ninth. Pitching staff as a whole, shutout. Only allows 5 hits, no walks, and 8 strikeouts. Great performance by the staff. Spire, like I said, might be down tomorrow. Probably okay. You expect good outing from Wu. You got Bizzardo, you got Brash, you got Munoz, and you have Ferguson if maybe you need him for a lefty in there at some point. Not a lot offensively. Hopefully just saving the big runs for tomorrow in Houston. Mariners collect 5 hits, 1 walk, but they get 2 important runs. That's all they needed today. Randy was 0 for 4. Cal 1 for 4. That single the ninth. Bit of a tough day for Julio, 0 for 4, including that double play. Josh Naylor with a solid day. He was on base 3 times in a game where the Mariners only reached base 6. Naylor was on for half of those. Base hit, which he scored on in the second inning. Was that the second or the third? It was the second. And then a walk as well. Polanco 1 for 4 with the RBI double, which technically is the game winner because Kansas City didn't score. That's Polanco's 29th double of the year. Gino 0 for 3 did strike out 3 times. Dom 0 for 2 does reach on again on that incredible challenge by the Mariners coaching staff. Robles comes in, which is a smart move, run and play defense. He scores a run. Rivas 0 for 3, and then JP with a clutch double there in the 8th inning. He goes 1 for 3 with the RBI. So fantastic there. Not a lot to talk about in this game. Very quick game, 2-0, get in, get out, and head on to Houston, but just an important win. They're all important right now. Nice to see the Mariners win back-to-back road series as well with Atlanta and Kansas City. Okay, it's go time. Going to Houston, division's on the line. I will say this to everybody, don't freak out if they lose game 1. It's about winning the series. You're still going to have a chance to do that, even if you drop tomorrow's game. It's just about the series. Come out of there winning 2 out of 3, and I think you win the AL West. I do. I think whoever wins this series wins the division. Now, again, sweep, it's over. If any one of these teams, either of these teams sweep, the division's done. 2 out of 3, there's some wiggle room. You're not going to get to waltz into a division title, but you're in fantastic shape. This is what we want. This is what you want. You want these series. All the years that we sat through bad baseball, all the years that we were just like, oh my gosh, there's still 10 Mariner games to go. This is it. I don't remember this team playing a bigger regular season series. They've had some series over the years. They've been in contention where like, hey, if you can win 2 out of 3 here and this other team loses, you're in okay shape, stuff like that. But this is straight up like for the division. It is on the line this weekend in Houston. And I've said all along, you're going to have to beat the Astros. They are not going to just roll over for you. Texas is gone. Forget Texas. They're out of this. Houston is going to battle. They took care of Texas. They got rid of them. Now go in there and prove you're the better team. This is the chance to do it. Prove that you can win the American League West this year and be the division champs. To be the best, you've got to knock the champs off their post. And the Mariners have a chance to do that this weekend. There's nobody I trust on the mound more than Brian Wu. And I trust Logan Gilbert. And I trust George Kirby to get it done. And they've got the right energy in the clubhouse with guys like Josh Naylor, Cal Raleigh, Julio Rodriguez, Polanco being a doubles machine. We'll see if Paredes is back for Houston. Sounds like he might be. I don't think Jordan's gone on the IL yet, but pretty sure he's out for the regular season. So you catch a bit of a break with Jordan Alvarez possibly being out here. But again, this is an Astros team that has battled injuries all year. And you can say, you don't need to praise them. Listen, whether you like the Astros or hate the Astros, I'm sure most Mariner fans aren't big fans of them, but there's a winning culture there, right? That they get it done. Regardless of who's in there, they find a way. So if you think Jordan being out is going to make this an easy series, it is not. But the Mariners are up to the task. And that's my take on it, right? That Mariners absolutely, this is a team up to the task that can go in there and get it done. And hopefully they do. It's going to be fun. Of course, I will miss the game tomorrow. I'm actually going to the Phillies and Diamondbacks game in Arizona tomorrow. So I'm going to miss game 1 of this series. And I don't know when I'll have the recap up. Just to let everybody know, it's going to be much later tomorrow. So the Mariners lose a heartbreaker. It's not that I'm not coming on here. I'm going to be driving home probably. I almost want to do a series recap with this one because it's such a big picture series, right? It's not so much game by game. I mean, it is, right? If Mariners sweep, you're in great shape. And it would be great to win tomorrow because you put yourself in great position to do that. But this is about the totality of it, right? You could lose tomorrow, win Saturday, Sunday, you're fine. So I'm almost debating it, but we'll see. I'll have something up tomorrow. There'll be something. It might be late tomorrow night, but I'll have something up for you guys and gals. Enjoy it. I mean, honestly, I know it sounds weird, but embrace it. This is, the NFC Championship games, right? They're stressful because they're big. They should be stressful. You know what game's not stressful? The Pirates playing the Marlins tomorrow. Those fan bases aren't going to be stressed at all because that game doesn't matter. You're stressed because it matters. It's important. It's a big game. It's a championship opportunity. It's what you want. Go out there and take it. All right, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's get this series tomorrow. I can't wait. I cannot wait. And it's not, it's what it's all about. I am so pumped up for this series this weekend, and just keep that magic number going down, get in the dance, and see if they can win the AOS. Take care, everybody. Like, comment, subscribe. And as always, go Mariners. Peace.